You see, the problem of this Portuguese national team for me is the coach, Roberto Martinez. Now, let me take you back to 2018, the Belgian Golden Generation. This was the same coach that was heading that team. And they went ahead to win nothing with that Golden Generation. Nothing. And so, I think that's the same thing I'm seeing with this Portuguese national team. Because tell me, I'm not saying you should not be starting Vitinha. For God's sake, Vitinha and João Neves are the starters in PSG's midfield, right? Now, my problem is the role they are playing. Now, if you look at Vitinha in this Portuguese national team, he does more of a defensive work. He's the one connecting the defenders and the attackers. He does more of controlling the tempo. So he does more of a defensive work. Now, when you look at João Neves, João Neves attacks, but what he does is to hold the ball in that midfield. When there is much pressure, right, João Neves has the ability to hold the ball when there is pressure and piercing through that pressure. João Neves is very good at that. And so when he presses through that pressure, he feeds his attackers and his wingers. So basically, there's one thing in common with Vitinha and João Neves in this role, which is more of like a defending kind of play. Now, you have one attacker that does 100% more of attacking, right? Which is Bruno Fernandes. So for me, that's why I'm proposing that Bernardo Silva should be starting in that midfield. Yeah, I know Bernardo Silva is not a midfielder, but this guy has converted to a midfielder in 2020 from 2020, and he has been doing massively well. You get my point? And so you need somebody that will create that spark in your midfield. Somebody that could, hold the ball, create the spark, do something with the ball. João Neves is good. Nobody will tell you that João Neves is not good. But the role they are playing currently in this Portuguese team is making the Portuguese team not to meet up to standards. Because tell me, for God's sake, right? Portuguese team with this squad depth, you guys are struggling. Like, they are not really meeting up to standard. They are struggling against their opponents. Yes, they are playing the ball, but you will notice that they are struggling. To even score, they are struggling. Look at their match earlier of this morning. And so another thing again, you are starting Cancelo. See, for me, if you want to see the best of Cancelo, is when Cancelo does more of overlap. Yeah, he's good in defending. But when you want to see the better of Cancelo is when he does more overlap and comes back. Now you have Pedro Neto playing from the right wing, and you are starting Cancelo as your right back, right? And Pedro Neto, when you watch Pedro Neto in Chelsea, Pedro Neto can track back and he can also push forward as a right winger. So you notice the two of them are doing the same job. And so you must find a player that can complement Pedro Neto. And so I feel like you should be starting Nelson Semedo. He can hold that back for you without pushing forward. Pedro Neto should just be there doing the job while Nelson Semedo will be at the right wing, right? The right back, controlling, not pushing forward. So you see there is a lapses in that way. Okay, Cancelo is trying to push forward, Pedro Neto is trying to shout. It's not really making sense. And so look at your left wing. For me, by now, you should know that João Felix should be your starter. Look at his last match, for God's sake. Look at his last match, for God's sake. The perfect person for me to compliment Nuno Mendes is João Felix. And so me, I see a lot of lapses from this Roberto Martinez style of playing the Portuguese team. Because honestly, with the way they are playing, I know now they've qualified to the round of 16 and they are facing Spain. With the way they are playing, I tell you me, if they play this ball they played against Croatian team, I tell you, Spain are going to knock them out. Spain are going to knock them out.